everybody. Good morning. Carson Meredith with you in for Brian Good today, who has the day off on this wave weather alert day. All quiet for now, but we do have some very small adjustments to that alert day forecast for later on this evening. This is not going to be a huge severe weather episode whatsoever, but there could be some trouble spots later on this afternoon, this evening. Let's start things off with where we're at now. That's the live view from New Albany on our SkyTrack camera. A little bit hazy out there this morning, and yes, there is a little bit of wildfire smoke in the atmosphere, mainly coming from Canada once again. And that may actually work in our favor a tiny bit later on today, because a lot of times when you have a hazy sky like this, that can somewhat tamper down, if you will, the storm coverage. We'll wait and see how that goes, but we still have that risk for a few strong to severe storms this afternoon and this evening mainly, especially across our southern counties. Right now it's fine. It's actually feeling pretty comfortable. A little humid, not too bad. 70 our current temperature now here in the city. The big thing that we want to get to you with our update this morning is the timing of our alert day has been pushed back just a little bit. Looking over the data this morning, a lot of the models are delaying the onset of any kind of storms, be it severe or not, until later this evening, maybe closer to dinner time, if that. So for that reason, the initial alert day time frame was 4 to 9 o'clock. We pushed it back to 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. That's when that risk for at least a few severe storms will come into play, mainly for southern Kentucky. But keep in mind, there are so many things happening across Wave Country tonight. Obviously, we've got high school football across the region. U of L plays tonight. Racing plays tonight. Bourbon Fest is going on. The Gaslight Festival Balloon Glow is tonight. And so even if you don't see severe storms, even if you just see thunderstorms, period, those are going to impact those outdoor events this evening. So we're going to keep the alert day in place, just push it back a couple of hours, 5 to 11 p.m. Strong storms are still possible, and there is still that chance for a few severe storms, especially across central and southern Kentucky. So if you live along the Kentucky Parkways point south, you guys have that better risk still for a few severe storms. And as we mentioned throughout the last couple of days, the main issue is going to be probably damaging wind gusts and hail with severe storms. The tornado risk is still there. I will tell you, though, it is the lowest severe weather threat. It's not a zero risk, but it's something we'll keep an eye on. The main issues for severe storms, however, will be wind and hail. But as we just talked about, with so many events going on, any storms, whether they're severe or not, will obviously have lightning, and that could impact all the outdoor events we have going on later this evening. Here's the big picture view. You could see where the front is now, just off to our west. Let me zoom in a little tighter on this map. There you see the front, basically along the Indiana-Illinois border. Now, as the day goes on, we're really going to warm things up, especially across the bluegrass. Mid-80s, a good bet, south of Louisville. Upper 80s can't be totally ruled out. But I will say that haze we have this morning might also keep those temperatures down a degree or two. That doesn't sound like a big deal, but when you're talking about storms firing up during the warmest part of the day, maybe it could help limit that storm coverage slightly. I don't want to dismiss the threat, but I just am trying to get at that not everybody's going to see these storms this evening. But if you do, they could pack a punch. And until this front gets through here, which will be later this evening, we still have that risk for at least a few strong to severe storms. So over the next 12 hours, we're good for now. We're good really until 2, 3 o'clock. And then around 4 p.m., we're going to have to start watching radar a little more closely for some of those pop-ups across southern Kentucky primarily. Some of you guys will not even see a drop of rain until after midnight tonight, especially if you're in southern Indiana, maybe even here in Louisville. It's not out of the question we don't see anything here in the city this evening, not until late tonight. But if we do, That can obviously cause some problems for the outdoor events. So we'll go with about a 30% storm chance this evening here in the city and in southern Indiana. And it's about a 40% chance the further south you go, when we're talking exclusively about the strong to severe storm potential. The slight risk really hasn't changed a ton. You do notice the marginal risk has been cut a little bit on the northern side to where it's basically along the Ohio River. So again, if you're in southern Indiana, there could be some non-severe storms this evening. It's a lower chance, but I really don't think you have to worry about severe weather if you're in southern Indiana. Here in Louisville, slightly better chance for a few storms, one or two maybe strong. Obviously, if they got lightning, we'll have some delays at all these outdoor events. But this is really, quite honestly, an alert day for our Kentucky counties. You can see that slight risk stretches right along the parkways. It includes Mumfordville, Columbia, Campbellsville, Greensburg, Lebanon, Springfield, Bardstown, Hodgenville. That's the main zone where we may have a few severe storms, a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings later on this evening between that 5 to 11 o'clock time frame. Here's Futurecast. This is the latest update of the HER model, the high resolution rapid refresh. You guys know that one pretty well. You notice the clouds keep on building in, but at least according to this model, 6:30 this evening, we've got more clouds, but that's about it. Now, I'm not totally sold on that. I do think we'll have at least a couple of downpours popping up around this time, especially in southern Kentucky. Maybe some closer to the Ohio River. We'll see. So that's kind of why we're keeping the alert day start time around 5, just in case these storms fire up a little bit ahead of schedule, if you will. We go later into the evening, and you notice that storm coverage fires up even more. This is 11 o'clock tonight, and when you look at this run of the HER, it keeps a lot of the action along I-75 out towards Lexington, London, and Richmond, Kentucky, and really doesn't have a ton in our area, which is an encouraging trend for us, but I don't want us to let our guards down totally just yet. So that's 11 o'clock. You notice overnight, trying to suggest maybe a little squall line, if you will, tries to develop in our far southern zones briefly for like an hour, and then it gets a move on to the east. So this is a very narrow window for severe storms this evening. But once we get past that severe window, there's still going to be waves of showers and maybe some thunder through the night. Not severe. That's why the alert day ends at 11, because the severe threat will be gone by then, and all the events for the night will be done. But we'll still have some rain and perhaps some thunder to deal with into the early part of your Saturday as well. For the U of L game, we'll keep that 30% chance for scattered storms. I will say the trends are in our favor here in Louisville, but we are not totally in the clear when it comes to thunderstorms or severe storms. The risk is lower in Louisville, but it's not zero. So keep the Wave Weather app handy. We're going to be sending alerts right to L&N Stadium as the evening goes on, especially if there are any thunderstorms that develop right over the city. I do think some lightning delays are possible. I don't think they're likely, but they are possible for that game tonight at L&N Stadium. But I am optimistic we will get that game in at some point tonight, kind of like with the NFL game last night. They had a delay, but they got it done eventually. I think that trend is the same for the Cards tonight against James Madison. Temperatures, by the way, on the warmer side today. 85 are high. And you'll notice we see those temperatures hover around 80 at kickoff and steadily drop through the 70s as the evening goes on. Keep in mind that cold front's going to be moving through this evening, so those temperatures will actually drop rather quickly once we get past sunset tonight. So if you're going to the Cards game, don't cancel those plans. Don't cancel your tailgating plans. Head on out there. Just make sure you're watching the skies and you're watching the Wave Weather app because we will send a lot of updates as the evening goes on. Let's jump to Saturday, and it still looks like a wet start to the weekend. But keep in mind, the cold front has already moved through. So this is just good old-fashioned rain behind the front as we go through Saturday morning. maybe some thunder, but we don't have to worry about anything severe tomorrow morning. But you notice there's 2 waves of rain, just kind of wave after wave after wave. Could be some heavier downpours across Kentucky once again tomorrow morning. But there's not a huge there's really not a huge thunderstorm risk. There's no severe weather threat tomorrow, which is good. And you also notice as we continue to go through Futurecast, the higher rain chances will be across the Commonwealth. Southern Indiana, a few showers, yeah, but not a ton of rain, unfortunately, if you live north of the river. This is 1:30 tomorrow afternoon. And I will tell you, the models have kind of slowed down, not only with the storms this evening, but also with the rain tomorrow. Wants to keep it around a little bit longer into the day on Saturday. So if you're heading to Lexington for the Cats game against Ole Miss, take the rain gear. You may need it at kickoff, but you notice by halftime of that Cats game tomorrow evening, we're drying out in Lexington. So once this rain does get out of here tomorrow, we'll actually see fairly quick clearing. Might actually be a pretty nice sunset tomorrow night. So highest rain chances will be early tomorrow through about, let's say 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Once we get past 3 p.m., the rain moves out, and eventually the clouds will clear out as well. This will be a good soaking rain for a lot of our Kentucky counties. Not so much in Indiana, but a good soaking rain in Kentucky. I don't know if it's going to be enough to end the drought, but it might at least pause it briefly. And I say briefly pause the drought because, as you'll see on the 10-day, once we get past tonight and tomorrow, we got a lot of dry weather ahead. Sunday looks fantastic. If you have any plans Sunday, I mean, you can't ask for much better. Sunny and 76. How good is that? But as we go through next week, summer's going to remind us that it's not done yet. We'll be near 80 on Monday. Then we get to 85 Tuesday. And then we just kind of hover in that mid to upper 80s range for the second half of next week into next weekend. And there is that chance we get close to 90 again by the end of next weekend. This is not a surprise. This always happens in September where you get a push of hotter air moving in. I don't think we're looking at mid-90s anymore. I still stand by that prediction. But could we have a few days where we hit 90, 91, maybe even 92 in mid-September? Absolutely. But if you don't see much rain tonight or tomorrow, that's going to be it for a while, I'm afraid. But we'll keep watching it over the next 24 hours or so. Main focus right now is going to be that alert date chance for a few severe storms, mainly in central and southern Kentucky between 5 and 11 o'clock tonight. Quick look at the comments, and then I'll have to run out of here so I can get ready for midday. Let's see. Tater Tot Gaming on YouTube. Wave Weather app was having issues yesterday morning. It was unresponsive once it loaded, but it's working now. Okay, that's good. Might have just been a temporary little glitch there, since it's all good now. Let's see. Hello, hello. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Let's see. Modique sums it up well. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. And yeah, Middletown Family Fun Fest this weekend. I forgot about that. But yeah, this should not be a major issue tonight. It's just we've got that chance for a few severe storms south, a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings perhaps, and obviously any storms that do develop could delay or impact some of those outdoor events this evening in particular. For any events early in the day on Saturday, there's not much of a lightning threat. It's just going to be cool and damp and rainy until about 2 or 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Let's see. Crispy, that later timing should help in our favor. Less fuel, less shear. Or have the ingredients been pushed later as well? The ingredients are still there, but you're right. We'll have a little less fuel, a little less storm fuel to work with if that later timing holds. That risk is still there, as we've talked about, so we don't want to totally ignore it. But quite honestly, in my view, the main concern is going to be the fact that we've got so many people out and about tonight, and we just need to make sure that everybody takes care of that, right? A couple more questions and we'll wrap it up here. Let's see. So the Gaslight 5K is going to be wet in the morning. Yes, it will. Some runners like it, some don't. But take that rain gear with you for sure. All right. I think everybody's good, actually. Cool. All right, so that's where we stand for now. Obviously, we'll be watching it all day. Again, not a major severe threat, but with so many of you going to be out and about tonight, we just didn't want to chance it. So the alert day's with us from 5 until 11, and we'll have to deal with that rain, especially for the first half of the day, on your Saturday as well. Don't cancel your plans this evening. Just make sure you know where to go if we do have lightning delays, and keep that Wave Weather app handy and make sure the notifications are on as well. All right, that's it for now, guys. Appreciate you watching. You can catch me here in about 40 minutes or so on midday, and we'll be here through the rest of your Friday afternoon. Appreciate you guys watching. Talk soon.